Like with any partnership, disputes and arguments are common. If either person holds too much resentment, it could unintentionally ruin the relationship. On the other hand, if they focus on solving the core problem after an argument and attempt reconciliation, this can help make the partnership last many years, even though that might sound easier than it actually is. What's essential is not avoidance but repair. After a big fight, both partners need to work together to rebuild what was destroyed. It can be challenging to apologize after a fight, especially when both parties are feeling prideful. If you and your partner are having difficulty talking things out, here are a few tips that may help get the conversation started again so that you can work towards rebuilding your relationship. It's necessary to provide space after an argument. Still, it is crucial to have conversations that will heal the relationship afterward as well. Often during a passionate dispute, all we want to do is make our spouse aware of how we feel. Thinking about how to reconcile after a fight does not even cross our mind. Nevertheless, we genuinely desire to save the relationship. In that case, we need to put in more effort and partake in honest discussions. Let us explore how those types of talks can happen. It's best to start with no contact. Don't contact your ex right away. You might want to speak with them because you really miss them, but it'll only make things worse if they don't feel the same way. Allow them enough time to calm down before approaching them again. Respect their wishes and be patient instead of trying to force a conversation. If they're still not ready or completely ignore you, wait for them to reach out first this time around. A few days is usually an excellent time frame to wait before discussing the argument again. This gives both parties time to calm down and reflect on what might have caused the fight. If you try to discuss it too soon, emotions may still be high and cause another fight. Take some time for yourself before trying to hash it out again. Once the argument is over, your ex needs some time to think about what happened and why it started. This cannot be easy when you live together because you still see each other around the house or apartment. If this is the case, give yourselves 3 or 4 days before trying to talk again. However, no communication may last for a few days or perhaps a month if you don't live near. The second is to let your ex know that you're still on the same team, even after a big fight. After the no contact, it is essential to keep in mind that it's you and your ex versus the problem, not you against your ex. This is a team effort, and it'll take both of you working together to fix things. Communicate this to your ex in whatever way possible, whether through text, email, or phone call. Let them know that you're still committed to the relationship and that you're willing to work through the rough patch. Afterward, apologize to each other. A sincere apology is one of the best ways to end conflict and improve relationships. Admitting you're wrong can be really hard, especially when egos are involved. But it's important to remember that doing so is not a sign of weakness, but strength. Articulating an apology after a disagreement shows that you value peace over being right. By apologizing first, you're also telling your partner that you're willing to work through the issue. This will help relieve some of the tension between both of you. So, confront your mistake and apologize to your partner. If you find it difficult to express your regret through words, try one of these adorable tiny gestures instead to lighten up the mood of your loved one. Your companion will likely be inclined to do the same when the equation is reversed. The fourth thing to do to get your ex back after a big fight is for both partners to agree that they want to try and work something out. If one spouse still feels resentful, it won't be easy to have a constructive conversation. Furthermore, both partners need to be willing to share their feelings and thoughts honestly with one another. Suppose either person is feeling uncomfortable about doing so. In that case, set some ground rules beforehand, such as taking turns talking or setting a time limit for each person to speak. During the conversation, it's essential to avoid blame and finger pointing. Instead of figuring out who was right or wrong, focus on what caused the problem in the first place. For example, if you disagree about money, try to figure out each other's underlying concerns. Is there a sense of mistrust when it comes to spending? Does one person feel like they are always the one who has to sacrifice? It can be difficult to have these types of conversations. Still, they are essential if you want to rebuild trust and repair your relationship. If you find yourself getting stuck, it might be helpful to seek couples therapy or counseling. A professional can help facilitate communication and provide tools and resources to help you both work through your issues. The next thing you have to do is to focus on rebuilding what was destroyed. This is something that you will have to do together. If there was a lot of yelling and name-calling, it's essential to take some time to calm down before trying to talk things out. It might be helpful to write down how you're feeling so that you can better express yourself later on. If either of you is feeling hurt, it's necessary to apologize and express those feelings. It's also essential to forgive one another for any wrongs that were done during the argument. Even if it feels like your partner was in the wrong, try to see things from their perspective and understand why they might have acted the way they did. It's also crucial to be patient with one another and understand that it will take some time to rebuild the trust that was lost. After rebuilding what was destroyed, the fifth thing you should do to rekindle your relationship and get them back is to have a healthy conversation with your partner and go back to the root of the problem. Now that you both feel more comfortable, it is time to get back to the central issue. Figure out what was happening that made one or both of you so angry. For example, if you are arguing about money, it's crucial to find out the source of contention. Is there a sense of mistrust when it comes to spending? Does one person feel like they always have to sacrifice? You can also use this opportunity to set some ground rules for future arguments. For example, you might agree to take turns talking or set a time limit for each person to speak. The important thing is that you're both on the same page about how to move forward. Finding and fixing the main issue is vital to prevent a conflict from worsening. Make sure you both had enough time to experience your feelings and are no longer heated. When you're both feeling logical, you're much more likely to find a solution or a middle ground. Lastly, it's crucial to have a discussion about the future of your relationship. What do you need from your partner to feel content? How can they help support you emotionally? Remember that your relationship should be a priority. A professional can help facilitate communication and provide tools and resources to help you both work through your issues. These conversations can be difficult, but they're essential if you want to rebuild trust and repair your relationship. If you find yourself getting stuck, it might be helpful to seek couples therapy or counseling. Reconciliation after a big fight requires effort from both partners. If you're both willing to work through the issues, it's possible to come out of the disagreement even stronger than before. Use these tips to help start a conversation and begin rebuilding your relationship. These are just some of the things you should consider when trying to rekindle your relationship after a big fight. Reconciliation after a big fight requires effort from both partners. If you're both willing to work through the issues, it's possible to come out of the disagreement even stronger than before. You can use these tips to get your ex back after a big fight. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you like this video, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and goodbye.